It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we're going to be covering the 5 mistakes that people are still making inside of Cookie Run Kingdom. Now, these mistakes I don't see as often as we used to see them, but they are still prevalent. So if you want to tell me in the comments any specific reasons that you are doing these things, I would love to know, so maybe I can have some better awareness as to why people do these things. Now, first one is not promoting cookie bonds. If you are not promoting cookie bonds, you are leaving all of these buffs on the table to not have. And you can see the list is quite long. So, not having max bonds by not promoting cookies is mistake number 1. Now, I understand if you don't have the coins to promote a cookie, that is one reason why you might not do it. But if it's just there, and you're just choosing to not do so, please explain to me why. Because you are missing out on power, on defense, on HP. All because you could just promote a cookie. And that is all it takes. Mistake number 2 is hoarding stamina jellies. If you are doing it for like a grind that you want to do in a couple days, or maybe you know, there's an event coming up and you know that you need to have those stamina jellies for the event, I can understand that. But if you've been hoarding stamina jellies for 2 weeks now, or a month now, you have given up so much stamina jelly, so much EXP, so much coin, so much jellies for upgrades, toppings, topping pieces, like so many different things that you can get from using that resource, you've given up by just not using them. I would love to know a good reason why, other than maybe like a social post flex of how many you have. Beyond that, I do not understand why they are not used, especially since we have time jumpers that you can quickly use stamina jellies. You can go into dark mode in the higher levels and hit ×3 jumps on the boss stages and use almost 100 jellies in one shot. It's super easy to do, very quick, and can net you a lot of resources. The third mistake that I see that's not happening still is doing all the daily reward wishes. These are free resources that now also have the burning time events on specific days, which means you get 5 times the runes, 5 times the EXP jellies, and 5 times the coins. That's going to be giving you so much resources that will help you in so many different ways that even though this is a hard mode, if you look at something and you're like, yeah, I really don't want to do that, refresh and 10 minutes come back. It will be something brand new. It is a very easy one to do, and if you really have the resources, just use your time jumpers to go through. That is an option too. But 10 minutes is not a lot of time to wait, and if you can only play in the game for 10 minutes, I can understand that, but you can at least hit refresh on the resource you don't like, come back to it later in the day, and still collect those treasure chests. Where if you just don't do it at all, you're never going to get those resources and you're going to be falling behind. Mistake number 4, not doing lab upgrades. Lab upgrades will increase your efficiency throughout the entire game, whether it be production, resource storage, coin generation, alliance upgrades, attack upgrades, defense upgrades, searing keys. There's so many different upgrades that you can achieve through the labs, and if you're not doing them, you will fall behind. And this is the perfect spot for free-to-play players to shine, because there are some whales that just don't do labs for some reason. Not very many, very, very few. But the fact is, if you're a free-to-play player and you're doing these, you will eventually just catch up to the people that have bought the cookies and have the max levels. That's an easy thing for you to do, and it's going to improve your gameplay across the board. It's going to be super helpful. And then the last mistake number 5, is hoarding PvP tickets. Now, I understand, maybe you're a newer player, maybe you're a mid-range player, maybe you only play every couple days. That's fine. But the thing is, if your reason that you hoard PvP tickets is because you don't feel you have a strong enough team, doing those battles will give you a chance to eventually get to that point where you do have a strong enough team. You can do the battles, you can look at what you're fighting, and learn where are your shortcomings, where are the team adjustments you can make. You can see what the meta is, and you can see what people are running. And yes, it is hard, but at the very least of everything, let's say you just have a tough time. You only win maybe 2 battles and lose 3 every rotation, and then wait for that free refresh every 30 minutes if you're free to play, or 10 minutes if you get the Kingdom Pass. At the very least, doing those battles will get you the medals, and the medals can buy you a whole bunch of great things. Maybe you're really struggling on EXP for your cookies. You can get the medals and convert them into EXP. Maybe you really want to do time jumpers and you're just running low and don't have the crystals to refuel them. The medals can buy those too. Maybe you want to get specific cookies like ancients or super epics, or just even epics that you haven't fully unlocked. You can come into the shop and earn them. So if you're not playing PvP, you're missing out on those. And if your reason is to stock up so that you can do one final super grind, I understand that. That can be a strategy for sure. But yet again, you're giving up resources that you could have out throughout the entire time of playing, rather than just doing it all at once. So these are the 5 mistakes that I see the most often, and the things that I wanted to at least allude to the player base so that you guys are getting the most out of the game. If you can. If you can't do these things because of time, I understand. If you can't because you just don't enjoy that game mode, I also understand. But I'd love to hear in the comments your feedback of some of the reasons why maybe you don't do these modes. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.